ICS and IPS. So here I request you, sir, to kindly guide us and start your session. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Good morning to everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thanks for nice introduction by Professor Priyanka Madam. Today, I will share my experience with the role of artificial intelligence in the drug development process, present status and future prospects. You have been listening since 5 days regarding the artificial intelligence in various aspects, because nowadays the artificial intelligence is a sizzling terms which are used in pharmaceutical also. It is very simplified concept, as many of have been defined. Artificial intelligence is the simulation of human intelligence in the process by computers. If you look at the points which I will be talking about, the points, introduction to artificial intelligence, why artificial intelligence used in the drug development process, what are the different application of artificial intelligence in the drug development, how it can be used in the drug discovery process to speed up the all these steps which are involved in the drug discovery, and various applications of the artificial intelligence with the examples. And several pharmaceutical industries are working with the concept of the AI in the drug discovery process. So let us see. Artificial intelligence is a tool that makes it possible for machines to learn from experience, adjust the new inputs, and perform human-like tasks. Simply, as I told, it is the simulation of human intelligence process by computers. If you look at the history in the evolution of the technology, before 5 years, which mobiles you are using? Today, you are using the mobiles with the various features. The advancement in the artificial intelligence is taking place, and that only the use of this advancement of the artificial intelligence across from innovating educational methods to automatic business process. If you look at the features of the artificial intelligence, that involves deep learning, facial recognition, automatic task, data ingestion, cloud computing, quantum computing, chatbots. Why artificial intelligence is required? Why there is a need in the drug development process? Because I told there are these several challenges in front of the pharma R&D. Pharmaceutical industry can accelerate with the help of the AI innovation process by using the advancement. The recent technological advancement that comes to mind would be artificial advancements such as visual perception, speech recognition, decision making, and translation between the languages. If you look at the IBM, who has been entire healthcare domain, approximately 160 billion GB of data. With this homogeneous data available in this domain, AI can be really helpful in analyzing data and presenting the results that would help out these to save our lives. If you look at this slide, you will come to know the entire applications of artificial intelligence in the drug development. The artificial intelligence used in the healthcare system, from the research, variables, drug discovery, virtual assistant, patient data and risk analysis, hospital management, mental health, surgery, lifestyle, digital health monitoring, and diagnostics. The various areas can be covered by using the artificial intelligence. And that's why this technique can be enable computers to mimic the human brain. Another subfield of the artificial intelligence is known as the machine learning. if you see machine learning, it is a simply data analysis method that automates analytical model building using algorithms that iteratively learn from data, and computers can identify hidden insights without being explicitly programmed. It is a subtype of the AI focused on the developed algorithm that can identify patterns within the data without explicit specification. These algorithms can be classified into the supervised and unsupervised learning. In supervised machine learning, the algorithm is trained on human level training data. Then algorithm provides classification or regression on unlabeled data. Output from this supervised machine learning entails disease diagnosis under the subgroup classification and drug efficacy, and absorption, distribution, metabolism, excretion, toxicity prediction under the subgroup regression. Unsupervised learning comprises clustering and feature finding methods by grouping and interpreting data based solely on input data. Through unsupervised machine learning, outputs such as disease subtype, discovery from clustering, and disease target discovery from feature finding methods can be attended. The output from this machine learning includes de novo design as well as experimental design under decision making under the execution, where both can be achieved via modeling as well as the quantum chemistry. If you look at the deep learning, it is a subtype of the machine learning that uses the neural network with many hidden layers apart from the input and output layer to extract the features from the raw data. It uses the artificial neural networks that adopt and learn from the vast amount of experimental data. The big data and associated data mining and algorithm methods could provide capacity to discover new compounds that could potentially be a new drug, uncover or repurpose drugs that could be the more potent when used individually or in combination, and improve the area of personalized medicine based on the genetic markers. There has been number of studies on the therapeutic developments on COVID-19 through artificial intelligence based approaches. It is believed that with proper establishment of method in AI, that is artificial intelligence, will witness the transition into the era of minimized failures in clinical trials and faster and cheaper and effective drug development process. Ultimately, active learning algorithm allow identification of new or novel compounds with promising activity against given disease target. And that's why deep learning will have capacity to from the unstructured data to make the decision making as well as the execution in the experimental design. If I take the example of the deep learning, which are with the help of the artificial intelligence, if you look at the deep learning enables rapid identification of the potent DDR1 discoding domain receptor kinase inhibitors. The traditional methods will take 2-3 years to get new hit or new lead generation. But if you follow the generative tensorial reinforced learning, that is general approach, that will take only 2 months, that is 46 days. If you look at, this is a target which has been identified with the help of this artificial intelligence system, that is a generative tensorial reinforcement learning, can get rapid synthesis, and that rapid synthesis, you can see the number of compounds, 6 compounds. Out of these 6 compounds, 4 are active, 4 are sent for the screening, in vitro screening, And based on the in vitro screening, the compounds will be screened for the next step, that is in vivo assess, mouse pharmacokinetics assess, PK assess, biotechnological, good PK properties were confirmed, and that sent for the preclinical trials. So all these steps will take only 46 days. But if you go by traditional method, it will take 2 to 3 years. So that's why how this artificial intelligence has been reduced the speed, has been reduced the speed of the time and increase the efficiency in the discovering the new drugs. And that's why we say the drug discovery process is an arduous and expensive process. With the cost of the $2 billion, more than 14 years it takes to discover or to find the new drugs. That is very expensive or challenging in front of the all pharma R&D. So what are the different applications of the AI, artificial intelligence, in the drug development process? We usually involve to find the heat or
Oh,
lead. Am I audible, sir?
yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes,
Hi.
yes.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Finding the heat or lead synthesis of drug like compounds, understanding, once you understand the pathway or finding the molecular target, that artificial intelligence also used in prediction the mode of action of the compound, or nowadays the concept has become polypharmacology, that I will explain later on. Then artificial intelligence is used in the selection of population for the clinical trials also, as well as in drug repurposing.
Excuse me, sir. There is an interruption. Sorry to disturb you. Mrs. Priyanka, please unmute yourself. You are again and again remaining unmute. Or else I have to remove you from here.
So if you could see, the artificial intelligence is involved in various drug development process, from the finding the heat to the submission of the drug approval. This slide will clear all the process which are used in the drug development. From the drug development process starts from the target validation, biological assays, then compound screening, heat or lead identification, which will be taken for the lead molecule shown effect on the target, lead optimizations, preclinical development, phase 1, first on in human, phase 2, proof of concept, phase 3, multi-center trials, and phase 4, that is post-marketing and surveillance, then approved drug for the clinical use. If you look at this, all these steps which are involved in the drug development process, from the target validation till the approved drug for the clinical use, if you take the help of the artificial intelligence in the drug development, that will really helpful in the benchmark compounds for set designing, predict targets role in disease, design of in silico compound library, as we aware about the combinatorial chemistry, as well as the STS high throughput screening libraries, identify the novel targets, predict druggability of the targets, predict signaling systems. This will take place only with the help of the artificial intelligence. Prediction of the, once you have been found out the heat or lead molecule,
Pawan, oh Pawan,
then you are able to do structural modification on that lead molecule with the help of the QSAR and various softwares, that is the molecular modeling softwares. And one can predict also in vitro or using the in silico studies whether the lead molecule is toxic or not, whether it is safe or not, because that is the mode of the drug discovery process. This will really helpful in the prediction of absorption, distribution, metabolism, excretion, and toxicity properties. And most of the drugs are
Okay.
failure
I last
due to
20 minutes.
this toxicity profile of the lead molecules. Then one can go with the help of the artificial intelligence, can be in the drug repurposing, selection of patient population in clinical trials to increase the success rate, and as well as nowadays the pharmacovigilance uh, is a boom in the market, and that's why the without artificial intelligence the drug development or drug discovery process is not possible, because it has having the various advantages in the drug development process. And based on that, one can decide the strategy for the drug development, which will overcome all the hurdles or which will overcome all the loopholes in the traditional drug discovery process. That is the beauty of the artificial intelligence. It is used. Let us take example one by one. Artificial is used in understanding the pathway or finding the molecular target. All these artificial intelligence get transfer the methods or target identification to treat the diseases. With the help of genomic information, biochemical attributes, and target tractability, one can possible to get molecular pathways which is involved in the diseases. For example, IBM Watson, that is the artificial intelligence platform, which is used to identify 5 new RNA binding proteins, RBPs, linked to the pathogenesis of neurodegenerative diseases, that is a amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. With the help of this platform, one can understand the pathway, as well as that will be helpful to decide the heat or lead molecule based on these pathways. Another application of the artificial intelligence in the drug development process, that is the to find the heat or lead. This is very important step in the drug development process. Without the heat or lead, one cannot go for the discovering or for finding the new drugs. The artificial intelligence utilize the chemical space, and that chemical space used for the identification of the novel and high quality molecules, because it is possible to predict probable organic molecules computationally. Without the computational methods, one cannot predict heat or lead molecule. Another artificial intelligence in the synthesis of the drug like compounds. You are aware about the with drug synthesis, that will be drug like molecules, the compounds which follow the Lipinski rule of 5. Because if you just screen the Lipinski rule of the 5 to that particular molecule, you cannot send for the next step, because it is the Lipinski rule of 5, means molecular weight less than 500 Daltons, H bond donors less than 5, H bond acceptors less than 10, and calculated log p value less than 5. For the synthesis of the drug-like molecules, retrosynthesis is extensively used by the chemist. You are aware about the retrosynthetic approach used followed in the synthesis of the drugs. One scientist, Segler and co-workers, developed new AI, that is artificial intelligence platform, which combines 3 different deep neural networks with the Monte Carlo tree research for the computer-aided organic compound synthesis. There are the various softwares which can be used to synthesize the drug, because the data is very huge, and uh, by human, or it is not possible to take or to retrieve that data without the particular computer aided organic compound synthesis softwares. And this platform, which has been really proved that faster and better than the traditional computer assisted retrosynthesis systems. With the help of all these softwares, one can go for the synthesis of the drug like compounds by using the artificial intelligence platform. The concept which I have been told in earlier, that is polypharmacology concept. Currently, one disease with multiple targets concept dominates over one disease, one targets, due to the deeper understanding process of the pathological process in diseases at molecular level. And this could be possible with the help of the artificial intelligence only. There are the various databases are available, such as Zinc, PubChem, Ligand Expo, KEJG, Chem MBL, drug bank, etc., available to integrate diverse information of the molecular pathways, crystal structure, binding affinities, drug targets, disease relevance, chemical properties, and biological activities. So all these parameters which are required in the multiple targets, that can be identified, that can be determined with the help of the artificial intelligence. And this is used in the designing the polypharmacological agents. Nowadays, the concept is booming, that is one disease with the multiple targets, and that is known as the polypharmacology. The next application of the artificial intelligence in the mode of action of the compounds. There are the various artificial intelligence based softwares like DeepTox predicts the toxicity of new compounds, because this is very major parameters for the discovering the drugs. Most of the drugs are failure due to the toxic profile of the compounds. Then another software, that is Proactor, predicts probability of toxicity in clinical trials. Before going actual in the clinical trials or in animal models, one can predict whether that compound will be toxic or not toxic. There are the various and innovative artificial intelligence like Spider, an alternative to chemoproteomics to advance natural products for the drug discovery. For example, that molecular target of beta lactocone clinical stage natural naptoquinone with the anti-tumor activity. The platform predicted beta-lactocone as an allosteric and reversible modulator of 5-lipoxygenase. The prediction is validated using the 5-lipoxygenase functional assay. Another artificial intelligence tool is Red Across Structure Activity Relationship, that is RASAR, which links molecular structure and toxic properties by mining large database of chemicals, was reported to accurately predict the toxicity of unknown compounds. And therefore, how one can predict the mode of action of the compounds using the artificial intelligence. Then this might have been several speakers might have talked about the clinical trials research, how this AI concept is used in this particular clinical trial research. Because the idea of artificial intelligence tool to assist in clinical trials should recognize the disease in the patient, identify the gene targets, and the predict effect of the molecular design as well as on-off target effects. And this novel and artificial intelligence platform called iCure was also developed mobile application to measure medication adherence in the phase 2 clinical trial of the subject suffering from the schizophrenia. So there are the various tools which can be used in the clinical trials for identifying the candidates, then monitoring data during the clinical trials, generating large data from that patients, and which will be helpful in retention by personalizing the trial experience. And that's why the AI also is gaining a lot of importance in the clinical trials, which will be helpful in the pharmacovigilance. Then another application of the artificial intelligence is moving towards the metabolomics approach to predict the various metabolic products of the biomolecules in the human. If you heard, that is liver cirrhosis. There are the several diseases Till the date, there is no any particular medicine which can cure or treat particular several diseases. And therefore, it is a need to identify the metabolic products of the biomolecules which are present in the humans. If you look at the DNA, then RNA and protein synthesis, the what that is Revive Medicine, MIT's Revive Med, which has been done survey on 10,000 metabolites, that is a small molecules, and which will helpful to discover the new drugs to treat that particular diseases. Because nowadays also, if you look at the COVID or COVID-19, there are the various predictions that the medicine can cure the COVID-19, but still it is unclear. There is no any sure vaccine or sure medicine which can treat the particular diseases. And that's why the metabolic products of the biomolecules with the help of artificial intelligence is necessary. Then another pharma investment in the how various pharma industries or various sectors has been invested in the artificial intelligence, because, for example, Moderna leverages Amazon's, that is Amazon Web Services code platform to speed up its drug development process. And while Moderna has recently made headlines as a top contestant in the race to develop coronavirus vaccine, the company should also be recognized for its success in developing cancer vaccine in just 14 days, while with the help of the Amazon Web Services. It's in that they have been used cloud platform. Then other pharmaceutical research report in 2015, report by the Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers of America, more than 800 drugs and vaccines are in trial phase to treat the cancer. Google's DeepMind Health announced multiple partnerships, including some eye hospitals, in which they are developing technology to address macular degeneration in aging eyes. Oxford predicting response to depression patient treatment project is aiming to produce commercially available emotional test battery for use in the clinical settings. So artificial intelligence are also used in the various sectors which will be indirectly, directly helpful in the drug development. Many big pharmaceutical companies began investing in AI in order to develop better diagnostic or biomarkers to identify drug targets and design new drugs and products. Merck partnership with the Numerate in March 2012, focusing on generating novel small molecule drug leads for unnamed cardiovascular disease target. In December 2016, Pfizer and IBM announced partnership to accelerate drug discovery in immuno-oncology. And if you look at the contribution of the pharma industry in the drug development process by using the artificial intelligence, you can able to see the various BioVista, Allergen, Bina, then Pfizer, Santen, Novartis, Numrate, AstraZeneca, Sanofi, AICTE, Hitachi, Atomois. These companies are involved in the drug development process with the help of the artificial intelligence for the drug repurposing to track real-time data via smartphones and other wearable technologies to target personalized medicine using machine learning and large-scale genome sequencing to identifying the new treatments for the psychiatric diseases, to discover novel and selective small molecules, to create bispecific small molecules for immuno-oncological therapies, to identify novel biological targets and pathways. You can see the list of the various application of the AI in the drug development process. And that's why uh, I have been summarized. If you look at this particular AI, artificial intelligence in the drug discovery process, you will come to know, you will clear all the concepts which are used in the drug discovery process.
Small molecule drug discovery (SMDD) is a multidimensional challenge that involves huge expenditure and time consuming. The average time required from the invention to market is about 14 years and cost around 2.8 billion United States dollars. Two major factors for the failures in discovery are efficacy and toxicity. Though the discovery of drugs is a
Madam, is it able to see?
No, sir, there is no video actually, just voices coming.
Then shall I put that link in chat box?
Sure, sir.
Is it able to see this website or
Yes,
QR code?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it not?
small molecule drug discovery (SMDD) is a multidimensional challenge that involves huge expenditure and time consuming. The average time required
Hello. Hi. Mhm. I've been put link in chat box, man.
All the participants.
Is it able to see in chat box?
Sir, you must send this to host, Hannah. Okay, sir. Thank you. You have sent this, na?
Yeah. I'll
Yes, sir.
send
Okay.
that.
We'll share this link with all the participants.
Yeah.
Small molecule drug discovery (SMDD) is a
Is it able to
multidimensional
see?
challenge that involves huge
No,
expenditure
sir.
and time-consuming. Drug discovery
No, sir.
(SMDD) is a multidimensional challenge that involves huge expenditure and time-consuming. The
I
average time
request you
required
to
from the
stop
invention to
screen
market is
sharing
about 14
and
years.
restart the video. I think then we will be able to see the things.
Two major factors for the failures in discovery are efficacy and toxicity. Though the discovery of drugs is
Sir,
a
is it
slow
able to
process with
see?
high investment, the
Yes, sir.
pharmaceutical
Okay.
companies and academic institutes are still spending money because of high commercial potential and also benefits society. A huge amount of experimental data accumulated from the past decades, including in vitro, biochemical assays, in vivo assays, and clinical trials. This data will become a valuable source for
Yes,
learning and
this audio is
understanding the
playing.
success and failure of compounds in the entire discovery process. The acquired knowledge will be useful to predict future drug candidates in the discovery experiments. The generation of the knowledge hypothesis from the known data can be implemented by using machine learning, deep learning methods. Since the data accumulated as huge big data, proper curation, efficient mining and building hypothesis (ML/DL) models need to be implemented in the drug discovery and development pipeline of the pharmaceutical industry to increase their success rates. The integration of these tools as artificial intelligence (AI) can serve end-to-end drug discovery and development. Thus, combining the drug discovery process with AI transform the paradigm of drug discovery. Millions of experimental data, known data, available in the public domain, PubChem, CHAMBL, binding DB, PDB, etc. The experimental data includes in vitro and in vivo data for each disease, ADME, tox, and many more. Properly curated data should be considered for the generation of precise ML/DL models. Two types of machine learning methods are widely used in the small molecule drug discovery, unsupervised and supervised. Unsupervised methods are used to cluster the molecules based on chemical similarity. As the data is large, quicker clustering methods, k-means, k-median, mean shifting, Gaussian mixture can be applied to yield better results. The clustering methods are useful to identify the nearest neighbors and have a greater application in repurposing and off-targets prediction.
Supervised machine learning models are useful in generating the models for the data sets having the experimental activity.
Market as about 14 years are predicted methods with either quantitative United States dollars or qualitative. Two major factors for the failures in discovery are efficacy and toxicity. Though the discovery of drugs is a slow process with high investment, the pharmaceutical companies and
Your screen
academic
is
institutes
not
are
visible
still
now.
spending money because of high commercial potential and also benefits society. A huge amount of experimental data accumulated from the past decades, including in vitro, biochemical assays, in vivo assays, and clinical trials. This data will become a valuable source for learning and understanding the success and failure of compounds in the entire discovery process. The acquired knowledge will be useful to predict future drug candidates in the discovery experiments. The generation of the knowledge hypothesis from the known data can be implemented by using machine learning, deep learning methods. Since the data accumulated as huge big data, proper curation, efficient mining and building hypothesis (ML/DL) models need to be implemented in the drug discovery and development pipeline of the pharmaceutical industry to increase their success rates. The integration of these tools as artificial intelligence (AI) can serve end-to-end drug discovery and development. Thus, combining the drug discovery process with AI transform the paradigm of drug discovery. Millions of experimental data, known data, available in the public domain, PubChem, CHAMBL, binding DB, PDB, etc. The experimental data includes in vitro and in vivo data for each disease, ADME, tox, and many more. Properly curated data should be considered for the generation of precise ML/DL models. Two types of machine learning methods are widely used in the small molecule drug discovery, unsupervised and supervised. Unsupervised methods are used to cluster the molecules based on chemical similarity. As the data is large, quicker clustering methods, k-means, k-median, mean shifting, Gaussian mixture can be applied to yield better results. The clustering methods are useful to identify the nearest neighbors and have a greater application in repurposing and off-targets prediction.
Supervised machine learning models are useful in generating the models for the data sets having the experimental activity.
These methods are predictive methods with either quantitative, continue, or qualitative, categorical based on the experimental activity of the training data. Generating the models for each protein or type of disease and when applied, will classify the unexplored data more precisely to identify new hits. However, precision mainly depends on the quality of the input data. The predictive methods combining with molecular modeling will accelerate the discovery process from hit identification to lead optimization. The supervised learning methods will have a major role to identify the druggable compounds based on ADMET. Building a highly predictive model for absorption, distribution, metabolism, excretion, and toxicity using adequate samples and filter the compounds during the screening will furnish the most druggable compounds for biological studies. Physiochemical properties, quantum mechanical properties, 2D descriptors, 3D descriptors, molecular patterns, molecular figure prints of the training data sets will be used to generate the machine learning models. Methods such as PCR, PLS, support vector machines, SVMs, naive Bayes, random forest, neural networks, recursive partitioning are quite often used for the generation of ML models by correlating descriptors with experimental activity. Recently, deep neural network (DNN) gained importance not only in drug discovery, also in other areas of science and business. DNN is a deep learning neural network method that builds hierarchical internal representations of the input data with the help of multiple hidden layers. Four major DNNs, convolutional neural networks, CNN, recurrent neural network, RNN, deep autoencoders A, deep belief network, DBN, are having their own advantage for the model generation. These methods are applied in the prediction of biological activity, ADMET properties, and physiochemical parameters. For small training data, ML methods will perform equally or better than DNN, but with large datasets, DNN will outperform ML. Overfitting is a major challenge during model generation. Recent developments available to overcome this challenge, such as dropout and drop connect. A significant development in these methods in the areas of de novo design, the binding energy between ligand receptor, chemical syntheses, nanoparticles, formulations, and many more. The ML-DL provides the end-to-end service in drug discovery, development, and beyond. The new rational pipeline will accelerate the discovery and reduce the failures in the discovery. In the future, the knowledge-based innovation will generate new medicines with cost-effective treatment for chronic diseases. *Immunopure Drug Discovery Solutions has in-house ML-DL models and providing services for our clients.
So, as Jared said, my name is Michelle.
Thank you very much for listening my lecture. I have tried to my best level to understand the concept of AI. I am very thankful for inviting me and giving opportunity to express my views on this role of artificial intelligence in the drug development process. I'm really thankful to Principal Dr. Arun Kumar Gupta, Madam Soni Madam, and Parashar Sir and entire team for organizing wonderful seminar on recent topic, that is artificial intelligence. Due to this, I could be gone through the various papers, and I also learned the concept of the artificial intelligence, how it can be used in the drug discovery process. Thank you one and all. If you have any questions, please, you can ask